How do you mitigate those back-to-school anxieties? With us today, Barbara Stanton and Dr. Nadkarni. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, so thank you for sticking around. Doc, for this, how about the middle school kids? You mentioned before, hey, I've been on my own schedule all summer, now school's starting. Is there some value to saying, okay, starting a week ahead of time, you're getting up at 6:30, we're going to start practicing the alarm going off? Or
most definitely, that helps them prepare for what's coming up. So kind of get the routine back to the school routine, have them wake up a certain time, do the same ritual they do every morning, breakfast, and then kind of have them plan the day, expecting school to start soon. So that helps them
like I want a
not
written
get
book
nervous.
report by 5 p.m. when I get back from work. And
There you go.
okay, now we're on to something.
And I think in the first couple of days, some kids may struggle with just refusing to go to school, and we see that a whole lot. That's something parents need to sit down with their kids for and just ask them what it is that they're worried about. Just, having somebody talk them through it and making it normal, that it's fine. I was nervous when I was a kid. It's fine if you're going through it. It helps a great deal. Won't you agree?
It does. One of the things that I hear a lot from children is nobody listens to me. Yeah. Nobody's listening. And I think it's really important, not just for parents, but for any of us who have contact with children, is to take that time and to listen to what's going on and to not minimize for them. Oh, it's no big deal. Just, ignore the bully, or you can that's not always real helpful. So I think that taking that time and listening to them, and parents are experts on their children. They really are. So it's so important for the parent to be able to communicate with the school, communicate with those of us who are professionals too, about what they're thinking and understanding about their child.
Any key or precise language that you should be using as you're communicating about what's coming down the pipeline, or any sort of language patterns or things that you think, hey, if you use this sort of language, it makes a big impact to mitigate some of this?
I think children are very big on labels. They don't like to hear depressed or anxious. So just in any language that works for them. Are you nervous? Do you feel like you're kind of down and out? What's going on with you? That helps. Instead of putting a label on it, because in my experience, they don't like it.
No, and really to talk in their language. It's really individual, whatever language that the child uses. Again, a lot of times in my work at Prairie, when I'm talking with children, I use special interests, things that they're really interested in, whether it's Transformers, and you're talking about transforming when you're going back to school, and using things that are really interesting and exciting to them that they then become a part of. And then they're much more willing to accept it and to want to talk more about it.
Well, I know also, like communicating with them, when is the time then you step in and bring in maybe some professionals, for each age group? What should you look for?
I think for the older ones, it would be helpful to just let it go for the first week or two, let them transition and see how things are, know their friends, their teachers, how hard the classes are. Typically that happens. But then if you feel like your child doesn't seem like himself, or there were things that they love doing and they just don't want to do that anymore, they don't enjoy it, they withdraw from their friends, or their basketball group, or whatever it was that they love doing, that should raise a red flag for sure.
Absolutely. And with younger kids, again, take a look at those changes in behavior, changes in appetite, sleeping. Are they having nightmares? Are they being more clinging to a parent or a caregiver more so than usual? Have they regressed in some way? Are they wetting the bed or wetting themselves during the day? Has speech regressed in some way, or other kinds of motor skills? Some really big red flags at that point. And again, at Prairie St. John's, we have 24-hour needs assessment that if parents have questions, they can always call and just ask questions. They can schedule an assessment to come in that's free of charge. So
thank you.
Well, thank you.
Great to know.
If you have questions, call.
Appreciate that. Stay with us. Much more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.